everyone, I have another tutorial for you today. This is my Pop of Blue eyeshadow tutorial. It's going to be great for spring and summer. I'm going to start off with my moisturiser just to prep the skin. This one has SPF in it to protect me from the sun as well. I'm just going to use my headband to get my hair out of the way while I rub this in. I'm then going to use a primer. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Primer, and primers are great for during the summer because it helps keep your foundation in place a lot longer during the warmer weather. So I'm just going to dot that over my skin and then not rub it in but smooth it into the skin, otherwise it tends to go a bit bitty and horrible. So just small stroking motions across the skin. Once I've done my primer, I'm going to go in with the foundation. This is a sample size of the new L'Oreal Infallible 24 foundation. The coverage of this is medium to high coverage, and as the name suggests, it lasts well all day. It's not a matte finish, it's more of a satin finish, so it still looks quite natural, and it reminds me a lot of my Illamasqua's Skin Base foundation, which I love. I'm then going to take my Expert Face brush from Real Techniques and buff that into my skin in small circular motions. And then to cover up any redness or blemishes, I have the Collection's Lasting Perfection Concealer. This is in number 1 Fair, and I'm just going to put that all around my nose because I get quite a red nose, and across my chin as well because that's where I tend to get my blemishes. Now I love this concealer. There's not a lot left in the tube, as you can see. I'm just sort of scraping it out, and it's really affordable and really high coverage, and it's just amazing for the price, so you have to try this concealer out. I'm then going to blend that in lightly with my ring finger. Now I've recently discovered this amazing eyebrow pencil from 17. It has a spoolie on the lid there, and once sharpened to a very fine point like this one, I can find that I can draw individual little hairs onto my brows, which looks very natural. So that's what I'm doing here. The pencil's also quite hard, so it's very easy to manoeuvre, and it's very waxy in texture, so it sort of moulds the brow hairs in the direction that you're moving the pencil, and where it's quite waxy as well, it's very long lasting, so I am loving this product at the moment. I'm just giving my brows a bit more of a square shape at the front and a tiny bit more of an arch, just because my brows are lacking any shape at all. Then once I've done that, you want to take the spoolie end of the eyebrow pencil and comb through the brows just to make sure there's not too much product on there, just to make sure they look as natural as possible. I'm then taking Brow Drama from Maybelline. This is the medium shade. It's a very strange kind of wand, but it really works well to mould the brows into the shape that you want them and hold that shape all day. Now the next step is eye primer. This is a Long Cane Betty's eye primer. It's just a very creamy neutral shade, and I'm just going to take a tiny bit on my finger there and apply that to my eyelid, all the way up to my brow as well, because I'm going to be using a couple of colours there as well. Now for the eyeshadows on the lid, I'm going to be using this MUA, the Artist Collection palette I think it's called, and it has 66 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, a highlighter and a bronzer in here. I'm going to take the creamy sort of eyeshadow and apply that all over my lid and use that as a brow highlight as well. It's quite a shimmery colour, but once blended out right, it has a nice pretty sheen to it which really catches the sunlight and will look great during the summer. I'm then going to take the warmer of the two brown eyeshadows on my crease brush from e.l.f. which is £1.50 and it's amazing, and run that through my crease in small window screen wiper motions. Now this is quite a warm colour, it's got an orangey sort of tinge to it, so it reminds me quite a lot like a sunset, so it really did work well with this look and with the blue that I'm going to be putting on in a minute. Now my eyes don't look right without a tiny bit of eyeliner, so I'm going to use the Maybelline's gel eyeliner in black and just trace a thin line on my upper lash line just to give my lashes a tiny bit more volume and to shape my eye a little bit more as well. You can skip this step or you can use a pencil or a liquid eyeliner, it's completely up to you. I just prefer gel. Now for the fun pop of blue. Now I'm going to be using this gorgeous eyeliner that I found from Rimmel. It's one of their Exaggerate eyeliners and it's waterproof and in the shade 240 Aqua Sparkle. It's a twist up eyeliner and at the other end it has a little sponge, little applicator thing there to sort of smudge out the eyeliner. Now this eyeliner is going to be the base for our eyeshadows so they don't budge or smudge or anything throughout the day. So I'm going to be applying this to the entire length of my bottom lash line from the very outer corner there, which I pull out quite far, to the very inner corner which I take all the way into the top part there as well. And then I was curious to see how the sponge would actually work, so I gave that a go and it was pretty good at smudging out the colour a little bit, just to make sure the line wasn't as harsh. Now if you wanted to you could use the same blue as in the first palette, but it's not bright enough for me, so I'm going to be using the Sleek's Ultra Matte palette and use the bright blue on the bottom row there on an angled brush. Now when applying this I take it quite far on the outer corner just to make sure there's no gap between the brown and the blue, and I don't apply it to the very inner corner just because I'm going to be applying a lighter colour there later on. Now as you can see from the palette me holding it up, these shadows do have a lot of fallout, so you will have to tap the brush off before applying it to your eyes, otherwise you're going to end up with blue all down your cheeks. Now to save dirtying another brush, I'm going to use the same one and I'm just going to rub off the excess, and I'm going to take the aqua blue from the same palette and apply that to the very inner corners of my eyes. I'm also going to take it along the bottom of the darker blue just to sort of give it an ombre sort of effect so it looks a lot cleaner and neater, and yeah, just build those colours up until they are as intense as I want them to be. Now the eyeshadow's done, I'm going to move on to mascara. This is False Lash Effect from Max Factor. And then I'm going to go on to bronzer. This is the bronzer primer from Bourjois. It's a weird consistency, it's kind of like a mousse, but it works and blends really well into the skin. So I'm just taking that on my Real Techniques contour brush and I'm just going to contour with this bronzer. Now you can use this product as a bronzing primer, but I'm just going to use it on its own because it's a nice sort of subtle add of colour, but I have very fair skin, so if you have a darker complexion, go ahead and use a normal bronzer. And I'm also going to take that up into my temples and my hairline, and also down the sides of my nose as well, and underneath my bottom lip. I wasn't originally planning on using a blusher. I thought that the eyes would be bright enough, but I don't know, the skin was sort of missing a sort of natural glow to it. So this is Topshop's cream blusher in Neon Rose. It's very easy to blend, so I take a little bit on my finger, apply that to the apples of my cheek and blend it upwards. Now, cream products are great for during the summer because they just look like skin, and they're just going to look as natural and not feel very heavy on the skin. Now, to brighten up under those eyes, I'm going to use the Maybelline's Dream Lumi brightening concealer just under my eyes there, then down the centre of my nose, on my cupid's bow, and on the middle of my forehead, and a tiny bit on my chin as well. And then I'm just going to blend that in with my ring finger. Now this is going to make sure everything is looking very clean underneath all that blue eyeshadow, and bright and pretty. The eyes still look quite unfinished, so I'm going to take this white eyeliner from Vivo and put that on my waterline. This is going to make the eyes look a lot bigger and a lot brighter. Once that's done, it's time to put a little bit of mascara on my bottom lashes. This is the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara, and it's got a tiny cute itty bitty brush, which I love. And I'm just going to darken up those bottom lashes there just so they're a bit more noticeable. Now, a blue mascara will look great with this, but I only had black, so that's what I'm using. Now for lips, I wanted to keep it quite light and easy to wear, so I've chosen this Baby Lips lip balm in the shade Red Cherry, and I'm just applying that to my lips and blending that in. Now this is going to keep my lips nice and moisturised throughout the day and give them a lovely pop of colour as well. And that is the finished look. Now you can use any colour underneath the eyes. I think a green or a yellow or a purple or any colour really would look great underneath the eyes instead of the blue, but I think this looks very summery and pretty, and I hope you liked it. Bye!